Once upon a time, under the glow of a shiny moon, Gary the gnome was waking up. Gary wasn't like other gnomes who stayed still day and night. No, Gary was special. Every night when the moon said hello, Gary would stretch his tiny legs, blink his painted eyes, and start his secret night adventures. Tonight, like every night, the garden was quiet. Flowers were sleeping, and the gentle wind was whispering secrets to the leaves. Gary tiptoed across the grass, his pointy red hat bobbing up and down. He was ready to explore his garden home. It's a beautiful night for an adventure, he thought, looking up at the stars. They twinkled as if they were smiling just for him. Gary's first stop was the big oak tree, where Mr. Owl lived. "Good evening, Gary," hooted Mr. Owl, who was always awake at night. "Hello, Mr. Owl. What's the moon telling you tonight?" Gary asked. Mr. Owl shared stories of distant lands and sparkling stars. Gary loved listening to Mr. Owl's stories. They made the garden feel like part of a big magical world. After saying goodbye, Gary skipped along, his heart as light as a feather, excited about who he would meet next. The garden at night was full of surprises, and Gary was ready to discover them all. As Gary the gnome continued his night walk, he heard a soft fluttering near the rose bushes. Curious, he went closer and found Bella the butterfly, gently flapping her beautiful wings in the moonlight. "Hello, Bella. What are you doing awake?" Gary asked. "I couldn't sleep. The garden is so calm at night. It's magical," Bella replied, her wings shimmering. Just then, a friendly croak came from the lily pond. It was Freddie the frog, sitting on a lily pad. "Good evening, Gary. Hello, Bella." Freddie called out with a wide smile. Gary and Bella went over to say hello. "Isn't it a lovely night for a chat?" Gary suggested, and they all agreed. As they talked and laughed, sharing stories of their day, they grew even fonder of the night. The nighttime garden was full of friends and tales waiting to be discovered. Bella told them about her day flying from flower to flower, while Freddie shared his splashy leaps into the pond. Gary felt so happy to have friends like Bella and Freddie. The garden at night was not just a place of magic, but also of friendship. Together, they decided to have a nighttime adventure, exploring the garden further. Little did they know, they were about to stumble upon a big surprise that would need all of their help. As Gary, Bella, and Freddie explored the magical night garden, they noticed something odd. The stream that usually babbled like a happy baby was silent. "What happened to the water?" Gary wondered aloud. They hurried over to the stream and found that a pile of sticks and leaves had blocked the water, making it very sad because it couldn't flow and sing its happy song. "Oh no," exclaimed Bella. "The plants and flowers need the water to drink." Freddie, with a worried look, added, "And the pond needs the stream, or it will get too low for me to swim." They all knew they had to do something to help. "Let's work together to clear the blockage," Gary said, his gnome cap twinkling with determination. Bella fluttered her wings with excitement, and Freddie nodded his head, ready to jump into action. It was a big problem, but together they felt strong. Gary pushed at the sticks with all his might. Bella flew back and forth, carrying small twigs away, and Freddie used his strong, froggy legs to kick the leaves out of the water. It was hard work, and for a moment they worried it was too big a job. But they didn't give up. They wanted to help their garden friends and make the stream happy again. It was exciting, but a little scary too, solving such a big problem in the middle of the night. After lots of pushing, pulling, flying, and kicking, Gary, Bella, and Freddie finally cleared the blockage. With a joyful gurgle, the stream began to bubble and flow again. "We did it!" Gary cheered, jumping up and down. "The water is singing again," Bella added, twirling in the air. Freddie let out a happy ribbit and did a little froggy dance on his lily pad. They had worked together and solved the problem, and now the garden was happy once more. The plants could drink, and Freddie's pond was filling back up. "Teamwork is amazing," Freddie said with a big smile. "We couldn't have done it without each other," Bella agreed, her wings sparkling in the moonlight. Gary felt proud. He looked around at the sparkling water, the blooming flowers, and his two wonderful friends. "This has been an incredible night," he said. "Thank you for helping me in the garden." As they said their goodbyes, Gary realized that even small creatures can make a big difference when they work together. He couldn't wait to tell Mr. Owl about their adventure. Feeling tired but happy, Gary, Bella, and Freddie promised to have more adventures. but knew it was time for a good night's rest. The garden was peaceful once again, and they all knew they had a special bond that would bring them together for many more adventures to come. With the stream bubbling happily again, Gary felt a warm glow in his heart. It was almost time for the sun to wake up, and that meant Gary had to return to his spot in the garden. He waved goodbye to Bella and Freddie, who were also getting ready to rest. "See you tomorrow night," Gary called out. Bella fluttered her wings in a gentle goodbye, and Freddie gave a sleepy ribbit. As Gary settled back in his spot, he looked around the garden. Everything seemed brighter. The flowers smiled more, and the air felt fresher. He had helped his friends and made the garden a happier place. Soon, Gary's eyes began to close, and he felt ready for a day of dreamy sleep. But he smiled, thinking of the adventures that awaited them under the moon's gentle glow. "Good night, garden. Good night, moon. Good night, friends," he whispered. And with that, Gary the gnome drifted off to sleep, dreaming of the magical nights and the adventures that were yet to come. The garden was quiet once more, but filled with the promise of new friendships and adventures beneath the starry sky. Gary couldn't wait to see what the night would bring next, but for now he was happy and content in his garden home. We hope you enjoyed this story. If you liked this video, please go ahead and push the like button. If you like the content and want to see more, please subscribe to our channel. Goodbye.